Cancer. This is your mid-July reading. Before getting into the month and pulling more cards, let me talk about what I've got here. Let's take the Six of Pentacles back to around the Cancer new moon on the 28th or the 29th of June, depending where you are. So that was a very expansive, kind of mystical, healing, kind of spiritual new moon. It was aspected by Jupiter. And I see this kind of Jupiterian quality here of fair dealings. It's kind of like a good karma energy with this Six of Pentacles. Jupiter is about ethics and morals and hiring of consciousness through opening your mind and sharing different perspectives. So the new moon around the 28th, 29th of June maybe set you up for the month ahead in July with some sort of a support that you needed. Maybe you were even given some sort of funds. Maybe you were just feeling well resourced, you had enough people on your team. You even had people helping you out, sharing the load. Maybe you actually got some sort of a financial gain, an unexpected tax return or more than you thought, or you cleared some debt. It seemed like everything was running really smoothly around the end of June, and beginning July you had high hopes about how the rest of the month was going to go. Now, the Six of Pentacles is moving to the Seven of Pentacles for the month of July. So there was a full moon in Capricorn 13th of July, just as I'm recording. And I do have the moon card here too. So it does tell me that something has shifted in the last day or two. Around the 12th, 13th, 14th of July, things are less certain for you. You kind of thought you had something like a sure thing at the end of last month, and you've been coming into this month sort of seeing an investment not do as well, or where you had kind of put in a lot of your focus and energy. You're it's a little stuck, it's kind of not reconciled yet or something, or it's not really growing the way that you had hoped it to. What it looks like to me is the soul growth that's happening now is moon card energy. I'm going to start pulling some more cards and seeing where we're going, but where we're going in this reading so far looks like towards moon card energy. Around now, around the full moon and towards the end of July going into August, it's going to be somewhat of a period of surrendering to the unknown, Cancer. Yes, not exactly comfortable, but a lot of valuable growth that's going to happen there. And let's see, it may not really be so scary. What I will say is the Ten of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck and the Temperance card in reverse at the bottom of the deck. That seems to be some sort of an intimate relationship that is not in alignment, or you're not really understanding each other. You can feel a disconnect. It was flowing at some point, and I guess it's just pretty stagnant or disconnected now emotionally. Let's start getting into this reading. If you have not subscribed already, Cancer, now would be a great time to do that. We're going to look at the Six of Pentacles. So I want to go a little deeper into how the end of June and the first kind of week or so of July has been for you. Page of Pentacles and the Fool in reverse and the Page of Rods. Okay, there is a real disconnect between two ideas, two people, looking in completely different ways, okay? So there could have been a situation where somebody kind of drew the short straw here, or kind of feels like they got the raw end of the deal. And perhaps, this person only has one coin. So I guess one of these people are, out. So I guess that perhaps you had to maybe make a decision, Cancer, or you were in a situation where it was you or someone else, or, you are the person that drew the short straw. I guess I'm seeing it more so as, you were looked after, and there could be a slight bit of resentment building now. The Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck would be if you were been told to keep anything hush hush and not say, don't tell them that you're getting this raise, don't tell the rest of the team, kind of a thing. Other than that, you may be finding out recently that that in turn is what's going on, and that's why you're a little frustrated in July, because you thought everything was fair and square, and now you're sort of discovering that somebody's getting paid more than you, or somebody's getting better hours than you, or whatever this perk is. It's just not completely fair on somebody. So the Fool card in reverse. This is about a reckless move that was made. It does seem, though, for some Cancer, that a very sporadic and spur of the moment adventure to another destination could be on the cards recently. And maybe you took a random trip at the beginning of the month, or you planned something like that. But the conversations you've been having lately are quite unpredictable and like a little jarring maybe, or just you're liking it. You like how shocking some of these conversations have been. The Ace of Cups and the Empress card. So this is telling me that while others may call you foolish or tell you that you don't know what you're doing or that's too risky, you have a greater sense of this working out purely because maybe it's like a heartfelt calling. And the Empress and the Ace of Cups is a really overwhelming feeling of gratitude and true alignment to the heart chakra. Maybe when you're meditating, you can kind of visualize green. And you know what I find, like if I'm meditating and I just want to do a quick zoom, like a do re mi up my chakras, I will start with the root, and I'll just be like root chakra, and then I can just see that whole color, right? When you get to the heart chakra, it's green. If you meditate and see and like maybe focus in on green, or get some malachite or some green stone, that could be really good at opening the heart space and in turn like living from the heart. And it's about trust. Basically, when the heart chakra is pouring wide open, there's a really strong sense of trust in yourself and in others, and there's a real ability to kind of just discern who are the type of people to trust, and learn about how to trust overall. I talk about that because the Moon card is coming up. So there is a period of unknown and surrender to something that feels quite uncertain at this time. It's not how it started at the beginning of the month, I get that. Now it's like, well, it may be kind of like frustrating for you, and you're like, oh, I thought this was going to be different. Okay, so some of the conversations, people who just don't understand it aren't going to understand it, basically, okay? There is going to be opposite views here. You might be being a little too radical for people, okay? But as long as you are continuing to follow your heart. For some, romance may be blossoming recently with a unexpected person that you would usually not go for, and you may find yourself saying like, not my usual type, ... Okay, let's have a look at the Seven of Pentacles then. So we're bringing this up to around the 12th, 13th, 14th of July, and what's going on around these couple of days around the full moon in Cancer. Not a light and easy breezy lunation like the Cancer new moon at the end of June. No, this bad boy is conjunct Pluto. That is the most intensely transformative body that we talk about in astrology. So let's have a look around the Seven of Pentacles. The Five of Wands. Okay, so your energy at the bottom of the deck, the Queen of Cups, telling me that you are with the person that thinks you're too radical or that just doesn't get it. I think there's like more of a willingness for you now. It's like a maturing on this. Yeah, maybe like at the start you really wanted to force somebody to see it how you see it, or like you really felt you needed to prove yourself or vindicate yourself to somebody. There's a sense of a maturing here on this, and like you willing to just accept other people's differences and also feel more accepted yourself. So with the frustration that's coming up in around now, basically, as I'm recording on the 13th, Five of Wands, there's like a hostility beginning to you're beginning to be aware of some hostility. You're also starting to become aware of the saturation around the pool, or like the sort of niche that you're in, or the market is pretty saturated. I'm seeing like there's a lot of competition here. There's a lot of interest basically, which I guess is a good thing as well, but you are kind of uneasy because perhaps you didn't really know how many people were doing what you're doing at the moment, and I guess you're trying to sort of stand out somehow. Other than that, if it's something to do with your finances and you've invested, there is a kind of uneasiness around competitive markets or different competitors of what you've invested in. Okay, so the Two of Wands and the Queen of Swords and the Nine of Swords. So if you're dealing with a Gemini or another air sign, a Libra or an Aquarius, that seems to be where perhaps this romantic interest is coming through and it's like developing. Okay, and there's something about like not being your usual type, or it being kind of risky or something, or you feel like it's some sort of a gamble. So around now, you seem to have been kind of approached to take some sort of a chance on a new endeavor. Not like there's like people that perhaps are wanting the product that you have or the offer that you're making, and you're kind of maybe reaching out and doing some networking around that this month. And I think it's coming from a place of like, I thought this was going to be easier and I didn't expect to meet so much resistance. I didn't expect for it to take so long. And then I suppose like pushing yourself out there a little bit is kind of what it looks like. Queen of Swords and the Nine of Swords, you breaking through some sort of a feeling of, I guess, regret. Maybe there's a sense that you're like, damn, did I make the right choice? I probably shouldn't have done that. It's about taking the initiative, and maybe it isn't exactly what you expected, or maybe it's not going to be as easy as you thought it was going to be, and it's going to take some more time, or more hard work and more effort, more skills. You had it all like kind of in abundance at the end of June, beginning of July. So it does just seem now that like it's just not as quick as you would like, but it seems like by you taking the initiative, being direct, being clear, being efficient and being professional, you can break through a lot of these underlying insecurities is basically all I see the Nine of Swords of here. You're creating more limitations for yourself, I think. And instead of like adding to your suffering, or being like, oh, this isn't as good as I thought it was going to be, take initiative. Like go network, go talk to somebody, develop your skill set, improve your resume around this. You know what I mean? Okay, let's look at the Moon card and the Lover's card at the bottom of the deck with the Knight of Cups. Sure, that's nice for a new relationship coming in. Whether or not it is a lover's dynamic, something of a heartfelt connection has been, you've been aware of it recently, the Ace of Cups and the Empress. Now, I did see, and like I see again here, these bottom of the deck earlier, the Temperance reversed and the Queen, or the Ten of Cups reversed, that talked to me about a loss of intimacy between an existing relationship, you and another person, which could have been where some of your like feelings of frustration that are coming up in this reading are coming through. Also, maybe it's the fact that for some of you, somebody is coming in romantically or as a new friendship or new deepening of a connection. I'd see it as quite new. Maybe Pisces or Gemini. What I'm seeing there is like, oh, bummer that you can't tell this Temperance person, could be Pisces or Sagittarius even, about this. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but I'm picking up a lot of Pisces energy, and I'm also picking up some Gemini energy too. Okay, Taurus too. I mean, sure, let's just go through them all. But let's look at the Moon card now for you, Cancer. So from around the 15th of July onwards, what kind of energy are you expecting to tie up the rest of the month with? Well, period of unknown, great. Knight of Swords and the Strength card. So let's see, that's Gemini and Leo energy there. Okay, so It seems like for the rest of this week until the sun moves out of Cancer and into Leo, after I think it's around the 22nd this year, um, that seems to be when everything is kind of getting tied up for you over the next week. Let me just see when that moves in. Sun moves in on the 23rd this year, 22nd, 23rd. That'll depend, I guess, where you are in the world. But around until around the 23rd, you are rushing through something. And it seems like when the sun moves into Leo on the 23rd, you muster up a lot more inner strength, or you feel more standing in yourself stronger, more confidently. I've got Mercury in Cancer, Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Let me just see when Mercury is going to spend time in Cancer. Again, till around the 20th of the month, okay? So between now and the 20th, 23rd type of time, there is seeming like you seem to get a lot more clarity. The Sun card, victory, the Six of Wands, and growth and kind of fulfillment. And you just have to kind of take some initiative, go for it, don't waste too much time. Even though it's an unknown outcome, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That doesn't mean you just have to like stop in fear or like procrastinate or become overwhelmed with anxiety or the feeling of it, like the fear of the unknown, that you just don't do anything and kind of maybe dissociate or close down or whatever your go-to water sign response is to external stimulus and stress. The moon being in Cancer, it's going to, the sun being in Cancer until the 23rd. Let the feelings come up, sit with them, name them, hello, whatever, X, Y, Z, knowing that it's going to pass. The moon card is all about cycles, and you're just in a cycle or a period of waiting, which seems to be frustrating for you because you thought that this was more of it had been just so plain sailing, so you weren't really used to coming up around oppositions in this or any sort of obstacles I'm seeing. So take initiative between now and 23rd of July. After that, you have a stronger grasp on things and you're happy that you acted, okay? Leo and Gemini and Pisces coming up in the latter end of July, those signs maybe being more important. Have a great rest of the month, and I will see you soon. I'll read again for Cancer when the sun moves into Leo. Bye.